Okay, gang. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on. Obviously, Levon and I are super excited about everything that's happening right now. It's out of control, quite honestly. The volume, I haven't seen movement like this since literally 2010, 2011. I mean, from the numbers, it's absolutely ridiculous. So we're excited for those of you that said, "Hey, you know what? We're here and we're here for life." And you made the right choice. So, and I would think that you guys probably, like anything else, need to think like, I need to change. If I've done the same thing for a while and it's not giving me the results I'm kind of looking for, a change is a good thing. So that's what we've got for you, and we're going to spend the next 25 minutes or so getting you guys acclimated to what our expectations are, what we plan on doing, how we operate, and so forth. So I'd like to first off kick it over to Levon. She's going to play a vital role in running this entire group and helping us be as successful as we possibly can be.
Hey guys, well, for starters, as Mike started us off, definitely all of our calls going forward are going to be usually pretty short, concise. We will not spend a whole lot of time just filling calls just to, continue on and feel like we have to keep it for a time block. Like if we say it's a 30-minute call, we're not going to keep you here for 30 minutes just because. If we don't have something to actually worth value to talk about and it only takes us 10 or 15 minutes to get our points across, then that's what we're going to do. So just know that it's important to log on time or early so that way we can get through whatever pertinent information. More importantly, guys, know that we are constantly an open resource to you guys, open door policy, phones always available for you guys to ring us, text us, whatever, so that the lines of communications go both ways. Always keep that in mind. But yeah, so we're going to keep on with a weekly call. For the time being, it's going to continue to be a Monday night, obviously not tonight, but Monday nights, 30 minutes prior to the vision call, so at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, for the time being. We're anticipating that might change come the first of the year, but we're going to play that by ear based on information that we may roll out from leadership meeting coming up in next week. So we'll see what's happening from there. And then also, guys, what I would like to do is create a team calendar. It's real important for you guys to continue to put your information up on ViNet if you haven't, or if you have, continue to do so. And if you haven't, let's start using that. But going forward, we're going to open up a team calendar. This is not for you guys to necessarily feel as though you're reporting to us, but more so as this group grows, for two things. First of all, keep in mind that everything that we do together as a team is a learning process for you guys. So everything that we do, I want you to take it through two lenses. One, that you're going through the process yourself and learning all of the steps, but more so of as you build a team, these are things that you're going to be teaching and duplicating throughout, right? So as we go through this, it's real important to know that as you start off with a team, it's easy to manage or know what's going on in your business when it's a small team. But as it grows, it becomes much more difficult. And instead of having people feel as though they're reporting to you, giving them something that they can plug into, it helps to not only build community around in the local market, but it also helps for folks like us that are outside of maybe the local market that can look in and see where there's overlapping times and parties or events that are happening, so that with today's technology, we can leverage that, right? So if we see that, let's say Chicago or that market, so to speak, has 8 different parties going on at one night, we may say, hey, this is awesome, perfect. Let's go ahead and pull Zoom and we'll do a closeout all together so that everybody across that city can feel the energy, see what's happening in other homes. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. Plus, as your team grows and you start to see these bubbling up in different markets, you may be able to then monitor what kind of growth we're having in an area to see if it's now an area like Chicago. Don't pay so much mind because you guys already have an established marketplace there. But that's when we can start to see, okay, they have like 50 parties on a regular basis occurring. So now we need to make sure that we're implementing the next tier of training, which is local success trainings, right? And then from there, we can see where the markets are growing and bubbling up, obviously, to create a region, hence RSTs. So all of this, as you can see, is a stair-step system for us to not only see where the growth's happening, but to also give you guys a resource to help plug in and have your teams plug into areas that they may not have otherwise known. Because as this company continues to grow, ViNet and that calendar is going to be so slam-packed as it makes it difficult sometimes to navigate and find out where things are. So by having a little bit of a team calendar makes it much more manageable for everybody, on your behalf, and to be able to look at that at a quick glance. So definitely we're going to go through that. So right now it's in the process of being created, and then we'll share that information with you. But for the time being, anything that you guys want to, again, be able to put in there so that other folks can plug into, you can send it to me directly, or even just use our thread for now as far as information, such as the dates for, whether you want people to plug in with a challenge hour, challenge parties, challenge groups, any of that activity that's going on that's income generating activities. We want to make sure that we're sharing that information. And then guys, we are also in the process of creating a team page. As we're going through this, leadership transition, we want to have another place of communication and contact. So again, as the team continues to grow, we know that this WhatsApp thread will get, slammed to lots of people, and they can become a lot of chatter. So what we can do is move a lot of that offline and into the Facebook page as we need. But for the time being, make sure you're adding all of your team members on there so that we can, obviously see who's, in the thread, and we can also add them to the Facebook page. So that's what I got for you guys right now, is just trying to get things organized and moving forward and having a good way of us communicating back and forth. And I'm super excited to be diving in and working with each and every one of you so closely. So back over to you.
Thank God for organization. My weak point. But very, very, very vital in success. And it's extremely vital to learn the process. If you guys would have been with us when we first got started, all we're really kind of doing is trying to repeat what we did. So to give you guys the benefit of the doubt, to learn through the process. So what I want to do is I want to shift gears a little bit. Like I said, to get different results, sometimes you got to do some things differently, and change is good. And what, and change for us is getting back to the message that got us the momentum wave that we created initially. The message that everybody wanted to hear, the message that people would, that created 60 people in a living room challenge parties when we first got started. It was absolutely out of control. But so you got to ask yourself the question, why in the world don't we, or maybe you do, and I say there are certain parts of the country that are doing this, but, why aren't we having 30 and 40 people showing up in a house and with excitement going through the roof? Why is that not happening? And you got to ask yourself the question, well, what am I saying? What are we talking about? What is our message? And is it attracting the people, the majority? Is our message a big net that's attracting everybody, or is our message kind of a niche message that's only attracting a few? And I think that we have over the past 6 years, 5 or 6 years, our message is slowly degraded down to, from this message appeals to everybody, all the way down to, I think we've got a little bit of a niche. And so if you see your numbers of challenge parties going like this over a period of years, now you're seeing why. So what I want to do is I want to get people back focused again. And this is something you guys are going to have to internalize. You're going to have to talk about it. You're going to think about it. You got to figure out what our vision is. See, our vision has always been big. It's always been huge, of what we want to try to accomplish with this. And it didn't start with a shake. It didn't start with a ViPAC. It didn't start with a neon. Didn't start with any of that stuff. It started with a bigger vision to connect people that wanted a better life to a system that could accomplish those goals. And and that's why the company started the whole life, health, prosperity pillars. That never changed. That's always been the company's mission, vision, is connecting people to those 3 pillars so they can live better life experiences. They can have better health in the process while they're building a better financial stability, independence for their future and their future generations. And so you got to ask yourself the question from and that's why some of you guys may have heard this before when I use the analogy of Hillary and Trump on their campaign trail for about a year straight. You got to ask yourself the question: is what they were doing a whole lot different than what we do right now? Probably not. They're both leaders. They're both trying to create value so people will vote for them. And what they were doing on the campaign trail was they're getting in front of anybody that could gather 2 or more people. They step up on the podium, and what they talk about was, this is what we're going to do. If you vote for me, if you follow me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a better future for you. I'm going to create, so then the rhetoric starts at that point. I'm going to lower taxes. I'm going to, eliminate Obamacare and create better healthcare reform. I'm going to create more jobs. I'm going to make America great again. That was the messaging. Both candidates, the reality was they both wanted the same thing. They wanted people's votes. And the reason why people showed up at the polls, 100 million strong, 100 million people. And that's not even half of the people out there. But 100 million of them showed up. And the reason why they voted is for one thing only. I want to make sure that whoever we put in the office is going to make my life better. Think about that for a second. If 100 million people showed up on a hope and a prayer to vote for somebody, and whoever it was that was going to win is going to make all the problems go away, then there's a lot of people out there that need what we have. Now, I want you to ask you a question. When you're going out there and you're talking to people right now, what is your messaging? Is it, we can lose some weight, this neon tastes great, you pick the messaging. And to some degree, it's always been, our fault as a company, giving you certain messages to go with. And that's from an entrepreneur's perspective. You got to take what messages you like, what makes the most sense, what appeals to the most people, and you craft your own message based on that. And that's what we did when we first started. And our message when we first started wasn't about losing weight and any of that stuff. See, those things were byproducts of the system that we had and the vehicle that we chose. Just like Hillary and Trump were out there campaign. The system, what they chose was whatever their plan was when they got in the office, of what they were going to do. It was the vehicle. So Vi is nothing more than the vehicle we're going to use to help people live a better life, to help people make more finances, to help people spend more time with their kids, to help people live a less stress-free life. They don't have to deal with all the stress involved with everything they deal with right now. And create a better life for their future generations. That's the Vi's the vehicle. Do you see how our messages got kind of flip-flopped? We were talking about, lose weight, neon, obesity, and you can also make some money. And then people got focused on, well, this is a product. I need to focus on what this product has and what this one doesn't, and this one's better than this one, and this one's reasons why. And you know what? The reality is, we weren't speaking to the masses. If we got them in front of a podium and trying to get a campaign to get people to enroll into our business, is that a message that you could hear Trump and Hillary talk about? Or was that a message that would only, that to try to appeal to everybody? Or is that just a small niche that was going to focus on just people that might be interested in losing weight or health or working out or energy drinks? So our message is much bigger. So I want to make sure that we get back on track. I'm not saying let's not go talk about these amazing products. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying internally, in your head, you've got to get it in your head that that being a part of this company, being a part of Vi, being a part of this movement that we're creating and have created over the last 10 years is way, way, way bigger than you can even imagine. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking people to where they want to go. So in short, what I would say is, we've created a system and a platform designed to help people get from where they are today to where they are tomorrow. Now, the next thing is setting up the right expectations. You want to keep people in your business for a long time. You want to change some things up a little bit. Let's set clear expectations, starting with ourselves and with the people that we want to work with. And keep in mind, you got to use the filter of what do people think is realistic? What do people think they can do versus what they think is, oh, that'll never happen. There's no way that's possible. What is the message we're having out there? Is it a message of, hey, if you get started, I promise you can make $1,000 in the next 2 weeks? Is it a message of, we're going to make you, a millionaire? Is it a message of, we're going to get you into that car by the end of next week? Or if we run, we're going to get this done? That is not the message we want to use as a team. We want to use something that makes sense to everybody and something everyone can see themselves doing. And I look at using it in bite-sized chunks back to our mission. if we could use this vehicle, which we know works for the last 10 years or so, we've proven we are the best vehicle on the planet to help people get from point A to point B to live a healthier, happier, and more financial free lifestyle. If we can start by helping you do something simple, using our system we created to help you earn an additional $1,000 a month, would it be something you would be interested in if it only took your spare time, maybe a couple hours a week? That is a message right there people would be interested in. If we're not talking like that and using that language, we're going to lose people, or they're not going to be attracted. So what I want to know is from these folks, what would an extra $1,000 do for you? If it was spare time, would you cash the check, and what would it make? Would that really make a significant difference in your household? Or if they say, well, I'd like to make $5,000 a month, great. But you got to make $1,000 a month before you make $5,000 a month, correct? Right. So let's start there first. Hey, and you know what? What would you do with that $1,000? Would it, well, I talked to somebody the other day. He said it would help me an extra $1,000 a month. I could cut back some hours at work so I can spend some more time with my kids as they grow up, in a time right now where my kids need me the most. Do you think $1,000 a month can help people out there, you guys? Yes. $1,000 a month would help a ton of people. The vast majority of the 100 million people that showed up to vote for this, putting one person in the office to make their lives better, would have, changed their life $1,000 a month. And knowing it's $1,000 a month, it's residuals what we're talking about through the system. You do it one time, you get paid again. You do it one time, you get paid again. So what I want you guys to be thinking about right now is, if I can connect, not the $1,000 that's the most important thing, but what is the $1,000 going to do for that particular person? What is that? So I knew when I had the conversation with this gentleman that $1,000 wasn't $1,000. It was $1,000 would buy back and time that I can spend with my kids, and that's priceless. How are you going to do that? It's priceless. And I asked him, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. And I said, what if it took us 12 months to do it? What if working part-time, spare time, whenever you could make it work for you, when you wanted to do it, with a proven system, and you can plug in with some friends that you really enjoy being around, do you think that it would be okay if it took you 12 months? He said, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you want to do it quicker, we can do it quicker, but you might need to put a little more time in. But is 12 months a fair expectation? Yes. If you want to do more, not a problem. We just have to work a little bit harder. But 12 months. Now, here's the question. What decision did you make 12 months ago that took you 2 hours a week, per se, to drive an additional $1,000 a month into your household? What decision did you make 12 months ago that you acted upon that you now can say, because I made that decision, I'm now making an extra $1,000 a month coming in every month, whether I work or I don't? And the majority of the people that I've ever talked to said nothing. There's not one decision I ever made 12 months ago that can say that it's bringing in $1,000 a month. Knowing that, do you think maybe some of the 100 million people that showed up hoping that Trump or Hillary or whoever's going to save them, they would be good candidates for this, you guys, for the next 12 months? Are you kidding me? All of them are good candidates. Doesn't mean they're all going to do it, but 100 million of them, they're all candidates, and more of them that didn't even show up. But think about this for a second. What if 10%? Actually, we could communicate this message to 10% of the people out there through the movement we're creating. What is 10% of 100 million? You mathematicians. I'm not real good at math either, but I think it's 10 million, isn't it? 10%? Yeah. Okay. So 10 million people? We haven't touched 10 million people in Vi history before. You guys gotta understand how big this really is. And this is just in North America. So I want you guys to get that perspective. You guys starting to see how big this really is? Because some people say, oh, everyone's already heard of this. No, they haven't heard of this. They haven't heard of the solution that we have that's going to get them out of where they are right now and get them one step closer or two step closer or three step closer to where they want to be tomorrow for a better future. We've got to get back out there and let people know that there is hope, and they don't have to hope that somebody that gets into the office or someone else is going to knock on their door and save them. We have got it, but they've got to take personal responsibility. But it's our personal responsibility, if we want to do this, to be able to articulate this message. So I want you guys to be able to get as good as communicating as I'm communicating to you of how I feel about this as I am. Does this make sense to you guys? Can you get passionate behind this? Do you think that this is something the rest of the world really desperately needs? And do you believe that Vi is that solution that can provide it for them? Absolutely. It's undeniable. So so that's the direction I really want to go in. I mean, hardcore go in. And I can tell you that as Levon's gathering information and putting things on calendars, I can tell you one of my strong points right now, and one of the things that I know I can help every single one of you guys with, I want to close out Zoom challenge parties like all the time. Because this is what I'm going to talk to them about. The conversation that we've had for the last 5 minutes is all I want to talk about. Because they're already going to see the challenge. They're already going to see what the opportunity is. They're already going to go through the process. I just want to talk to them about how big this really is, because most people are still thinking that this might be a weight loss company. There are people out there that still think that this is a neon business. There's still people out there that think that, oh, all you guys do is go out and work out and stuff. Guys, you're missing the whole point. And if we're not communicating this effectively, then we're not capitalizing on all the people out there, and we're cheating all of them because they won't be able to get it and see what's going on, and we owe it to them. So the other thing that I want to focus on, I'm going to share my screen in a second, is as you're building, and we're building from scratch here. This is a fresh new start. What we're going to do is we're going to build a foundation of people going after the right mission, talking the right language, accomplishing, attaining the right people. But then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the environment that we created keeps people in and keeps them happy no matter what the results. And what I mean by that is the goal is to keep a team intact and keep people moving forward a day closer to their goal than they were yesterday and happy doing it. There's too many people in businesses like this that were frustrated on their way to trying to get what they wanted because they were doing things every day that they didn't like doing. And if they continue to do those things every day that they don't like doing, but they really, really want to get here one day, how long do you think they'll continue doing things every day that make them unhappy before they end up quitting? Not long. Some people have a longer tendency to put up with stuff, but the majority of the people, when the tough gets going, so do they. And when it's not fun anymore, people ditch. Guys, the pursuit of getting to your goals should be a happy process on a daily basis. And if we set the right expectations and we get them doing the things that make them happy every day to get them their goals, guys, I'm telling you, you can't lose. I've seen plenty of people right now that have been involved in Vi, set out to make set the world on fire, and didn't quite fall exactly where they wanted to, maybe felt halfway there, but at least they weren't disappointed in the value they got. Meaning, I've heard people say, I'm glad I'm with Vi because it made me a better person than I was before I got involved. I'm glad I'm with Vi. I'm glad I spent the time. I'm glad I went through this because I've learned more in Vi in the 2 or 3 years or whatever that I've been involved than I did in my entire education. I'm so glad I'm in Vi because I'm more productive at my job. I'm glad I'm in Vi. You get the point? But if we can focus on those kind of things, people will want to be a part of your organization, more importantly, a part of this movement that we're creating. And they'll wait a little bit longer to get exactly what they want because you know what? The process of them getting there makes them happy every day and they feel value. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen with you. I put this out in the thread as well. And I think this is where it all starts. Hold on a second. This is where it all begins. We call this our happiness chart. Okay, can everybody see this? I can't see you guys just yet. Just unmute. There you go. Can you guys see that okay? Anyone? Okay, Eric, thank you.
I can see it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to copy this, make a copy of it, print it out, whatever the case. This is gonna be this is foundational type stuff. This is gonna be something that I want you to learn and also start teaching people as they come involved and start to go to work with you in your business. And what this is going to do is it's going to help us find out what you're really good at and what you like to do and what you don't like to do. And then we're going to start associating time based on the time that you devote to VI. It's your business, not ours. The time that you devote to your VI is going to be spent doing the things that you're good at and things that you like to do. Now, let me ask you a question. If you are spending an hour a day, 15 minutes a day, whatever the time was that you're spending, doing things that you like to do and you're pretty good at, do you think you'd stick with it a lot longer?
Yes.
Yes. If you think if you're spending time doing things at the same time, doing things that you're not good at and you feel insecure and you don't like, do you think that you might not stick around very long?
Yes.
It's just human nature. It just makes sense. So I'm trying to drive this down to the basics, the most simplistic. So up at the top is the top 5 is your top 5 strengths finders. If you guys haven't done this, you can go to Gallup Strength Finder, find out, answer this questionnaire. You can find out what your top 5 strengths are. I highly recommend it. It's very insightful. It's not absolutely necessary that you do it on this, but it would help. Now, when you look at the cross and it says love at the top there and all those kind of things, what I want you to do is I want you to, and I'm going to explain the 4 quadrants real quick and tell you what I think you should do with it. The top left-hand corner is where it says 70% of your time. I want you to list all the things that you love to do in respect to building the VI business, promoting, doing things that cause money to flow through your business. Okay. List things that you love to do that you're very effective at. You're really effective at doing it and you love doing it. And an example like this would be, well, 3-way calls. I love doing 3-way calls. I'm really, really good at it. I got my message down. I'm effective at it. That would be something if you feel that way. There's no right or wrong answers here. It's just, what do you love to do inside of VI and what are you really good at? Write those down. Now, the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to find the things that you're very effective at, you're really good at, but you really don't like to do it so much. So go ahead and list all those. You don't do it right now. This is going to be a thing that we kind of work on throughout our working together. The upper right-hand corner, list all the things that you love to do that you're just not that good at. You're not very effective at it, but you still love it. What types of things are those? What type of activities? On the bottom right-hand corner, I want you to list all the things that you don't like to do at all and you're not effective. So this means you don't like it and you're not good at it. List those things down there. And this, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and your business about what we need to do, if we need to make any adjustments. And more importantly, let's put you in your strength zone. Let's put you where you're really, really good and makes you happy. And if you look at the upper left-hand corner, the things that we love to do that we're very effective at, we're going to spend at least 70% of our time there every day or whenever we're working our business. Things that we're really effective at, we don't love, we're still going to, because we're good at it, we're still going to do some of it. We're just not going to do it 70% of the time. And the things that we love but we're not very effective at, we're not going to give up on it because we love doing it. So spend 10% of your time there. And the things that you're not good at and you don't love, don't spend any time there. See, this is all simple stuff. When's the last time you've ever sat down and really broke this apart? The reason why I'm going through this now is because I think in 5 years from now, you're going to look back and go, thank God I made sense of this, because I may, and whether you reach this huge pinnacle goal that you set for yourself right now, or you fall short, you're never going to get to the point where you're like, you know what, I had a bad time doing it. Or, hey, you know what, I set out to make $2,000 a month, and I'm only making $1,000 in the time that I really wanted to get it done. But I'm thankful for it, and I love what I'm doing every day, and I'm happy. And you can't put a price tag on happy. People don't leave movements. People don't leave something significant when they're happy. So this is going to be a tool that we're going to use. I hope you guys enjoy the process. And then what you can do is you'll find out, okay, I can see where maybe I need to adjust some things. Because 70% of the time, my 70% of the time block is all listed with things that don't make me any money. So if that's the case, that's okay. We know what it is. And when we know what it is, we can work at it. We can figure it out. We can maybe move some of the things that you're really effective at and that you don't love to do so much up into the 70% block until we find a way that we tweak some things to the point where you do end up loving it. Maybe we take a different approach. We can help you, but we can't help you. Levon and I can't help you if we don't know all this stuff. And our job is to get to know you. Our job is to get to know what your goals are, not just your financial goals, but what those financial goals are tied to is the most important thing for us. And once again, like Levon said, we're not doing this. We're not doing this for you. We're doing this with you. So you can then go out as you're building your team and reproduce the same type of the results, the same type of system, the same type of vision, and the same type of communication and language. So make sure you make a note of this, make a copy of it, and get to work on this one, because the quicker you do, the quicker you get this done, the quicker you're going to start getting results, and the quicker you're going to start being happy doing what you're doing. So another note, as far as our leadership style, and for those of you that haven't worked really, really close with us, we're not a high sales, we're not a real sales management style type management. We don't do that. We would rather empower people, find their strengths, put them in their strength zone, and let them go do what makes them happy. So, but see, if we do these things right now that we're talking about, we will create results, and we are results driven. At the end of the day, our job is to help you get from where you are today to where you want to go to tomorrow. And the only way you're going to do that is through getting results. We just like to get results this way and take this approach to help you get your results, rather than the traditional sales way, which usually burns people out and gets them frustrated and makes them want to go somewhere else or do something different, or they just say it's not for me. And that's not what we want to do. So in the end, in the closing out on this call, I think really what we wanted to do is give you kind of a perspective of where we are coming from, where our heads are, and what the kind of platform is going to be as we move forward. So what I want you guys to be thinking about between now and next week, it's already December, for God's sakes. I mean, 2017 is right around the corner. I mean, obviously, I want you to be thinking about what you want to try to accomplish in your business, what's important to you between now and December. Quick note, one of those things that should be important to you is, preparation. If you really want to build this thing, and depending on, this is all, everyone's goals are different. So you temper this based on what your goals are. But you want to prepare for the new year. You want to prepare to get new people and aligned with your mission and what you're doing, along with Vi. So they want to promote along with you. Maybe they want to make an extra $1,000 a month. Our goal is going to be helping everybody we possibly can make $1,000 a month, period. In order for them to make 5 or 10, they got to make 1,000 first. So our goal is, and I've got something I put in the email, I just sent over to Connie, and Connie will probably get that stuff back out to you guys, or we'll figure out a way to put it in the thread, is my kind of brain dump on paper of my perspective when it comes to language, when it comes to helping people accomplish their goals, helping them get to $1,000 per month, and how you can use helping someone go to $1,000 a month, maybe even using the 12-month time frame to do it, so it's very realistic and the expectations are right, where you can actually get to whatever rank you want, whatever monetary goal that you have can be calculated using this formula of helping people get to $1,000 per month, spare time, part-time, doing something that's super simple. Does this make sense to everybody? Sweet. Okay, I know we're a couple minutes over. I tell you what, I'll go for 3 more minutes. If you guys have any questions, then we'll close out. Any questions based on anything we've had so far? Questions, comments, suggestions? Bueller?
I have questions.
Great.
Okay, so I was writing down when you were talking about the quadrants. So in the 70%, that is the top half all of the things that we love. And I was also writing down my strength zones. So I missed some of the quadrants.
Okay.
I don't know. Other people might have been writing as well. So I thought I'd ask. There's no question that's stupid, according to.
No, that's good. And are you seeing my screen right now?
Let me see. Yeah, I can see your screen. So the upper right, what is that?
Okay, so what I want you guys to see is well, start with the upper left, which says 70% of time. See that?
Yep.
That quadrant is the quadrant where you list the things that you love to do and you're really good at. You're very
Okay.
effective at those things. If you if you move directly to your right, where it's things that you love to do and you're less effective at, you're not that good at, you only allocate 10% of your time there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And down at the bottom is, at the bottom left-hand corner is the things that you're still very effective at, but you don't love doing it. And the bottom right-hand corner is you're less effective at it and you don't love it.
Okay. And you spend 0. That's your
Yes.
week. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Cool.
like, so unloading the dishwasher should definitely go in.
Yeah, well, and then try to remember, if you're talking about, if you're using this chart, your happiness chart for household chores, that would be a good one. What I want you guys to be thinking about is that use this towards your business. Put like action items that cause money to flow through your business. So whether it's challenge parties, challenge hours, challenge groups, one-on-ones, two-on-ones, three-way phone calls, Zooms, events, you name it, whatever you think are income generating activities that are going to help you move closer to your goal. That's the most important thing. Things are going to help you move closer to your goal. Then put them in the allocated blocks.
So in the top 5, and I'm sorry guys, if you have to jump, that's okay. I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly.
Okay.
Should it just be 5 in each?
No, I'm sorry. No, great question. Great question. I just did that just for the sake of having a template. You can use as little or as many as you want. You might have a quadrant that's only got 2 in there. You
Okay.
can have a quadrant that's got 20. So there's no right or wrong. It doesn't have to be 5.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And if you work, if you have a partner, you have a spouse, you have a whatever that works really close with you guys, I would recommend that as you fill yours out, have your partner or spouse or whatever look at yours and vice versa. See, sometimes you might think you're really good or really bad in certain things, where that's a false sense of reality that your partner or somebody that works closely with you will say, oh, no. You need to move that from this quadrant to this quadrant because you don't think you're good at it, but you're actually really good at this. Or vice versa. You might think you're like, man, I'm really good at this. I'm going to put this in my 70% of the time. And your partner says, you're dead wrong. You're awful at that. So move that out and put that at the 0%. So, just having fun. But the reality is you're going to learn a lot. And then what you can do is when you do this with your team, you're going to start matching these up with all the people in your team. And you're going to start finding out, it's like, oh, thank goodness. I mean, I'm really good at these things, but I'm really bad over here. But see, some of the things that I'm bad at cause money to flow through my business. So it's not good for me to not be good at some of these things. But see, I got 3 or 4 people in my group that are really amazing at these things. Thank God. So they complement each other. Does this make sense, you guys? So you can build a very smart, efficient organization when you have the right people doing the right things and everyone accomplishes some type of cohesion when it comes to matching up their skill sets.
Absolutely. This is a great sheet to give to anybody starting a business because it kind of eliminates any guesswork of.
Yes. So one, it's setting the right expectations so everyone can see themselves doing it in the time frame that they have to do it in. Number 2, making sure that you sit down with them and get them to focus on happiness. What makes you happy? Let's connect building your business, because if you're not going to hit your goal for another 12 months or so, we better be doing something in the meantime that's going to keep you around and make you happy in the process until you get there. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying people can't go and hit crazy goals. I'm just saying I'm talking about the 100 million. If I want 100 million people right now, if I could get on a podium right now and talk to 100 million people, what would they need to hear in order for them to take the next step and say, you know what, I'll follow you. I'll try that. I'll do this. And are we speaking to the 100 million or are we speaking to the 5 or 6 people? Okay, so keep that in mind language-wise as we're communicating this information out there. So any time for one more question? Anybody?
I have a question.
Perfect.
So the less effective, this is Shauna, by the way, the less effective one, the don't love, is that what we're supposed to be working the most of? Because like I'm horrible at following up, but I know I need to. So would that go in the less effective thing and that I don't love doing because I don't really like to do it, but I know I need to do it more? Would that be right, or would that go in the very effective but
well,
like,
this
like
is
the third? Would it go in the 3rd or 4th quadrant? Is what I was
it's a
asking.
good question. If you don't like following up, Meaning you just don't like talking. I mean, you like talking to people, but you don't like talking to them again. And you're not good at it, then definitely put it in that category for now. But you got to highlight it and know that follow-up is extremely important for success of your business. So we may
It's not that I don't love to do it. I'm just not good at it.
That's okay. That's all right. So it's something that you don't mind doing and you like doing it, but you're not that effective. We'll put it in our 10% category for right now, and we'll take a look at it and say, well, how important really is that? Because if it's going to help me get one step closer to my goals and maybe get it done faster, maybe I'll move it out of that quadrant and move it into my very effective, because I can do it. I can control it, but I'm not as crazy about it. But I'm going to spend 20% of my time doing it now. So the more you end up doing it, the better you're going to get. So I think that the better you get at something, the more you tend to like it. And so then those things can potentially move all the way up to your 70% of time quadrant, things that you love to do that you're very effective at just because of the repetition, and now you're comfortable doing it.
Okay.
Cool. Great question.
Yes.
Great question. And as you guys are filling these out, we'll have time to take a snapshot and take a look and have some dialogue wrapped around some of this stuff too. So like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. I would say just get started, try to be as honest as you possibly can, and then we'll try to make some adjustments and see what we can do to get the needle moved for you, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. All right, you guys, I've got 9:45. I know we've taken way too much of your time, but I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that what we were doing had some rhyme and reason behind it. And we want you to feel confident and comfortable knowing that we'll take you wherever it is you want to go. You have a goal, we'll get you there. We know how to do it. And we'll do it to the point where we'll work at your pace and however it is you want to do it. And we've got a system intact to make that happen. So Levon and I are, like I said before, are obviously very excited about this and working with this team. And let's get this team to start growing. Let's get more and more people on board, because the more people we can educate, the more people we can work with, the larger your business is going to be in 2017. So if you have any questions, reach out to us individually, and stay tuned to the thread and any updates that start coming in from Levon and organization and structure and those kind of things. So appreciate it, and we'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you on the thread, and I will see you next week as well.
Thank you. I'll have a great night.
You too, you guys. Take care.
Bye.